in our experience and talking with multiple operations managers, safety consultants, engineers, it seems that articulating a vision, a forward-pacing vision as to what the ideal scenario is and what it will look like has been somewhat of a challenge. And so in this video, we're going to break down what we believe are the three key components and the main three key struggles that PSM sites, process safety managed sites, face when they're trying to make a change. And so as you try to make a change, you have to articulate a vision of what it may look like to inspire, because you have to inspire. That's really the key word along all of this, is inspiring the site to take the action and make the changes necessary. All right. So typically we may overwhelm, whether on purpose or not, our site with a vision that may be just too vague, too broad. If we get into the weeds of what we call, sometimes maybe too much of the technical jargon, we may not inspire our site to really take the action to move forward and take the necessary HAZOP, LOPA, day-to-day process safety driven conversations, right? So we need to make sure that we're not struggling with too much of a broad vision or a vague vision. We need to try and articulate it and make it as clear as possible. And as I mentioned before, inspiration is really the result that we're looking when we're articulating a vision with the site. For that, in order to do that, we need to make sure that the leaders themselves believe it. And so we see sometimes that is a common struggle in PSM sites, is that maybe some of the population or maybe some leaders are more engaged than others. And so we need to make sure that that is something that is taken care of, that we have the leaders that are driving this believe in the actual vision of how the site's going to be operated, with process safety leadership being a driver in the day-to-day conversations. And sometimes, when we surveyed sites, they may believe that the why is not strong enough. And again, this comes back to process safety leadership, is being able to inspire and articulate that vision forward. So what are some of the key steps that we've narrowed down? And again, these could be expanded to a lot more detail. But what we've seen in multiple sites to try and overcome the common struggles of articulating a vision that inspires, the workforce and the site to make a change and improve their process safety can be summarized in these three. So the first one is, we need to make sure that we're working with the right leadership to define the specific metrics targeted for improvement. Typically the sites, the leaders, they're go-getters, they want to get after it, they want to be able to touch, feel what the goal is, what the target is. And by having a specific metric targeted for improvement, it inspires folks to have a goal that they can not only visualize but attain. Felipe, why don't you talk to us around the second step here to help a site articulate a vision that inspires the workforce to improve their process safety leadership?
So step 2 is all about getting your descriptions of what good looks like for each metric. So in step 1, you've worked with leadership to define what are the metrics we're trying to improve here. Again, trying to be specific, clear, as you said, so we can get a sense of where we're headed, what we're aiming for. Step 2 says prepare vivid descriptions of what good looks like for each of those metrics. Once you reach the target metric, what's it going to look like? And it's important that you be as vivid as possible. So if one of your metrics, for example, is no more than 2 loss of primary containments annually, that doesn't just mean we will not have more than 2. What it means is we are going to perform transfer operations, pumping operations in a manner that greatly minimizes the chances of a loss of primary containment. It's going to look like this. We are going to have these behaviors. We are going to have this mindset when we perform these operations. We are not going to have the mindset perhaps that we've had in the past, where we have had LOPCs. We are going to now operate and behave in this manner. And so again, stressing how important it is that we are vivid with our descriptions of what good looks like for each of the metrics that we're trying to improve in process safety, so that leaders and the workforce have that vision. They can see the vision of what operations are going to look like once we've begun this process of change and improving our process safety. And step 3, just to finish it up, presenting the vision as a leadership team and instilling a culture of care to strengthen the why. It's important the leadership team come together to present the vision, because as Joel stated, the leadership needs to present a unified front, and it needs to be clear that all of the leadership team believes in the vision, so that there's a team unity headed toward the improved process safety leadership. Culture of care is something that strengthens the why. Culture of care means we are doing this to look out for each other. We are embarking on this change so that we can look out for each other and make sure we all go home safely the way we came to work. And as Joel mentioned, as a common struggle, the why not being strong enough often causes momentum to eventually go down, and initiatives that may have started strong under simple targets, under policies, eventually lose steam because that why just isn't strong enough. And in our experience, one of the strongest, if not the strongest whys, is fostering a culture of care in which everyone is doing it for their coworker, for their teammate, to make sure that their teammate and their coworker goes home safely. So when you're looking out for someone else, you're motivated to do what it takes, to do the hard things, perhaps, to take the extra time, because what you're doing is for the people around you that you care about and that are with you in this. So culture of care, foundation of the why behind the change.
Absolutely. Well stated. Thanks for sharing that. So again, folks, if you want to get access to the articulated vision cheat sheet, make sure you visit us at safeenergyops.com. That's www.safeenergyops.com, and take us up on the free challenge, the Increase Your Process Safety Leadership Challenge, in which you'll be able to network with other industry peers, download the entire roadmap and all these cheat sheets, plus updated resources and exercises that can help you in your process safety talks. So hopefully this was useful, and we'll see you in our community.